Good evening, everyone. My name is Ernest Isel, and I'm currently doing the CYB 670 capstone in cybersecurity. Tonight, I'm going to explain what cyber operations and risk management are. This is part of our project for the lockdown. Now, when we talk about cyber operations and risk management, technology advancement has helped us a lot. Now, the COVID 19 have also enlightened many people to understand what technology is. Talk about Zoom, Skype, WhatsApp, FaceTime, other stuff. Now, these have helped in communication in times where you cannot meet people personally, but you have to meet people virtually. People are now using all these technologies in communication. Now, notwithstanding, the use of these technologies have also brought about a lot of issues. Hackers are trying to steal information from users, insider threats, malware attack are all some of the things that hackers are using to steal information from users. So we want to talk about how these informations can be kept or how they can be mitigated to reduce the risks of hackers getting access to this information. Now that we want to tackle the software aspect. Most hackers attack the software of the network. So the first one is before you install a software, there should be a station to test the software to know whether there are any pre-installed malware or any issues with the software before you install them. Hackers are using all those stuff just to get into the system. Software that are bought outside, hackers tap into those softwares, and then if you install them in your network, they have access to that. Another way they can also attack system is the supply chain. Like if you want to buy a software, you don't manufacture them in this country. There are some of them you have to buy them outside the country, which poses a greater risk to our networks. Talk about those handling the software, the shipping companies. There are some middlemen who are hackers themselves. There are a lot of known countries which are able to put or fix physical things into the system. So when they come and then you install them, you have issues and then they try to exploit those threats. Another issue in the software is patch management. Some softwares comes with patch management that needs to be done regularly to avoid or to help the system get new versions of those softwares. Also, systems that do not have the software development lifecycle. Now, when you talk about the software development lifecycle, it spans through like how the system is going to be installed, if something happens to the system, how you're going to fix them, the lifespan of the system or of the software, and then how you are going to take it out from your system. So there should be policies and procedures that should be put in place. And then the service, the software development lifecycle must also be studied by IT experts to also know what they have to do to help the software in terms of an issue, or to also know if hackers has got access into the system or not. So all these are some of the things that hackers use to get access to the software and then to also use it to exploit the vulnerabilities. Another area is there should be a penetration testing every time to find out risks and vulnerabilities that exist on the system already. There should be pen tests frequently by IT experts for them to know what is going on in the system. Is something wrong with the system or is something happening to the system? So when they do that, they were able to know the other aspects of the vulnerability testing. So in my recommendation, to avoid unintentional threats and vulnerabilities, software needs to be pre-tested in a lab before they are actually installed onto the network. When this happens, it helps IT experts to know whether there was something wrong with the system or with the software or not. And then the issue of supply chain risks, it can be mitigated by buying from a trusted vendors or sources. And then also, packages has to be tracked by organizations to know where they are, who is handling them or not. And then patches should also be applied. Some patches come in 2 weeks or maybe in a month. There are some softwares which have automatic patches. It just comes and it just patches the software by themselves. But there are other softwares that needs to be applied by somebody. So there should be procedures and processes to mitigate all these things. And then penetration testing should also be done regularly to find out if there's any problem on a system. And also, there should be a budget. All this to be able to materialize, there should be a budget to know how much it's going to cost to do this, how much it's going to cost to do that, so that at the summit, you will just come up with a budget. So if the budget is too high for the summit or we cannot do it, the controls or the mitigation that needs to be done as early as possible has to be done so that to avoid any possible threats from hackers. This is my cyber operations video that I'm doing to help mitigate some of the problems we are facing or we will be facing at the summit of the countries. Thank you very much. Once again, my name is Ernest Esau. Thank you.